All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It is Newsflash today. We appreciate you being here with us. Yeah, lingering thunder. That's the best part. All right, so anyway, Republican leaders are scrambling to stay off the Democratic wave or at least mitigate their party's losses. It's time now for a Washington Republican strategy session. And yeah, so this is that's what we're gonna play whenever there's a Republican strategy session. So we don't have any other imaging, but and it's also the imaging for our global show. But anyway, those are the tones, the dulcet tones of when you know we're having a Republican strategy session. We're talking about their strategy for the midterms, and we'll play this. When there's a Democratic strategy session, because it's the same thing. Anyway, so what began last year as blaring political hyperbole on the right, the stuff of bold-letter direct mail fundraising pitches from little-known groups warning of a looming American coup are now steadily drifting into the main currents of 2018 messages for Republicans. Impeachment. So, it's a strategy emerging on the right for how to energize conservatives and drive a wedge between the anti-Trump left and moderate voters. Warn that Democrats will immediately move to impeach President Trump if they capture the House. So, which, by the way, is not a completely unrealistic scenario. Sorry, I did have to sneeze there, but it's really not a completely unrealistic scenario, because, they're going to get in. It's because they're going to be a blue wave. And there will, 100% chance almost. I mean, it sounds like hyperbole, but it isn't. Capture the, it's going to capture the people, and it's going to capture the imagination of people, and they're going to get in. A lot of them are going to run on their anti-Trump resistance, and they're going to be like, let's impeach Trump over Russia. And then the people who elect them are going to be like, okay, you talked about sometimes, you talked even maybe a little bit about some issues in your campaign. I'm going to follow none of those. Trump, Russia. This is going to be the only response we're going to get back, because that's a lot of times, if not all, of what they're focused on. So that's the main problem. They want to get the Trump impeached. I'm saying wait till the investigation. Let's do this normally. Let's do this the civilized way. Let's wait till the investigation end, and if there's something worth impeaching Donald Trump over, impeach him. So it's not that hard, and I am getting this as a kid, and Democrats are not. They're trying to jump the gun on this. They're trying to push, because they don't get the country. They think all they want, all the entire country wants is just to impeach Trump. You're stupid. They want more things. They want the issues, and if someone gives them issues, they will do incredible things. For example, Bernie Sanders talked nonstop about the issues, talked about policy, talked about progressive policy, and jumped 30 points in the polls from a relative unknown to a verifiable and successful candidate, and a threat to the Hillary Clinton dynasty of the Democratic Party. And there's been examples like that in midterms this year all across the country. So, the appeals have become a surefire way for candidates to raise small contributions from grassroots conservatives who are devoted to Trump, Republican Party fundraisers say. But party strategists are also floating the possibility of impeachment that can also sort of act as a scared straight motivation tool for turnout. So last week, Senator Ted Cruz of Texas began his re-election rally with fellow news anchors reading would-be headlines were conservatives not to vote in November. Senate Majority Leader Schumer announced the impeachment trial of President Trump, one of the anchors said. When Representative Steve Stivers of Ohio, the chairman of the Republican campaign organization, convened about 24 party strategists in February for a private dinner at a French bistro, the attendees were surprised when he addressed the issue not included in his formal PowerPoint presentation, the threat of impeachment against President Trump, which he said fired up the party base tremendously. So there's that. There's definitely that to contend with. I mean, and the question going on in the Wasserman-Schultz room in the DCCC at the moment is, should we back off our impeachment talk of Donald Trump? Because they do have a Wasserman-Schultz room. I'm not making that up. They do have a Wasserman-Schultz room in the DCCC headquarters where people go where candidates go meet up with rich people and go beg for donations and something called the, like, I think it was like the Rolodex test or something like that. You can look it up. And it's like, it's in The Intercept, I think, and there's great other outlets right like that if you want to read about it. But yeah, and that's the question. And the answer to that is, again, as I said before, just be reasonable. Just be reasonable and wait for this whole Mueller thing to play out and then react accordingly and strongly off that. So it's really not that hard. Yeah, but there is and I think it's a good strategy for the Republicans to move on, because it will definitely fire a lot of their base up. Will it fire the independents, quote unquote? No, probably not. But it's going to fire a lot of people up. So there is the most prominent Republican to have started invoking the specter of a Democratic-controlled House impeaching Trump, the president himself. And last month, he used 3 separate speeches to warn that Representative Maxine Waters, a veteran California Democrat he casually insulted as a low-IQ individual, aims to impeach him, which is true, I believe. I think she said that. She does want to impeach him. So, advisors to the president say they have made clear to him that Republican control of the House is tenuous, and some have encouraged him to more aggressively lay out the stakes for the midterm elections, including who exactly would be in charge of the key committees Democrats should use to retake the chamber. So, everybody has told him that. Lewandowski said, who's Trump's former campaign manager, at the prospect of a Democratic takeover of the House, the threat of impeachment is something that unifies everybody in the party, even if you're not a big Trump supporter. Like when there's impeachment, they say, come in. We got to rally around, and we got to eat these Democrats apart. So for example, Lieutenant Colonel Oliver North of the Freedom Alliance said, "You've seen it coming, as surely as I have, a coup to overthrow the President of the United States. Unless you and I act now, liberal Democrats, with the help of the left-wing media and deep state bureaucrats, will impeach President Trump and nullify the 2016 elections. As a supporter of the Freedom Alliance, you might expect that we have a plan to push back and defeat this coup. We do." That's a fundraising letter from some kind of PAC from Oliver North, who's a criminal, by the way. Yeah, and Democrats, all right, so we'll go to this story and we'll hear the Democratic response to this new strategy from the Republicans that I myself have admitted is not really that bad. So we will see how they choose to respond to this. So, yeah, Democrats are divided on how to respond to that charge. Many top officials in the Capitol fear it's a political trap that would distract from their core message. What is their core message? A better deal? Yeah, or is their core message what it actually is? Trump, Russia, Trump sucks, but we're willing to work with him. Trump sucks, Russia. That seems to be their entire core message at this point. Anyway, so yeah, I've been urging members to refrain from discussing impeachment. Representative Adam Schiff of California, the ranking Democrat on the House Intelligence Committee, said, "I think we should let these investigations conclude and see what evidence is found." So let's see. That take deserves a polite round of applause. Good job, Adam Schiff. You did it. All right, so yeah. So Chuck Schumer himself said he thinks the impeachment is premature at the moment, but other progressive figures see impeachment as a rallying cry to galvanize their own galvanize the left's own anti-Trump base. So, and they see kind of as a rallying cry of their own. I don't think any progressive figures see it as that, but I wouldn't say, because it wouldn't be off this Russia thing. I'm tied into the pricing community and the people in the media there, and etc. And I haven't heard them seeing that. I mean, maybe other than like some people on a specific show, like T by T or something. I think some of them may be in favor of that, but I don't know to much of a degree. And I don't think it's for the Russia thing. So, we should I personally agree with Adam Schiff, see what evidence found. But in the meantime, focus here on the issues. So I can't even imagine the Democrats would go there. Mark Lundberg, the former chairman of the Sioux County Republican Committee in Iowa. Impeachment for what? Being rude to them? That would be so outrageous. So that seems to be where we are right now. The Republicans think the worst thing Donald Trump has done has been being rude to them. Okay. All right, we will move on. So, yeah, we move on now to the Hungarian election, which somehow was also made about George Soros. Yeah, if you were in Budapest this past week, it was impossible not to notice that in the run-up to the election on Sunday, the streets of Hungarian capital had come to resemble a far-right Facebook page, crammed full of posters and billboards that use crude visual language of the internet memes to attack enemies, real or imagined, of Viktor Orbán, who's the current prime minister. So, so the most obvious example of a fictional group is a fictional group portrait of 4 opposition leaders embraced by George Soros, the Hungarian-born financier and philanthropist. Orbán's government has accused, without evidence, of planning to destroy Hungary by flooding the country with Muslim immigrants. So that's just great. The poor guy, George Soros, he literally gets accused. He's a philanthropist. He's a rich dude. He supports people sometimes. He puts some money into some campaigns. I'm not for money in politics in any way. I don't think you should be doing